Now, in fluid mechanics, we will study about the flowing liquid. Flowing liquid. While in the previous chapter we have studied about the static liquid, that is hydrostatics. Static liquid. And under hydrostatic we have studied the pressure exerted by the h height of liquid column. It will be equal to P equal to H into rho into G. Then Pascal's law and then Archimedes principle, law of rotation. All these are concerned to the hydrostatics, topics of the hydrostatics. Here we will study about the flowing liquid, and this is the, we can say this is the hydrodynamics. Hydrodynamics. Dynamics means anything which is pertaining to motion. Hydro means liquid. Basically means dynamics of the liquid, motion of the liquid. Now see here, here we will consider ideal liquid. Ideal liquid. Though no such liquid exists. It is only a conception. Ideal liquid is not found. Ideal liquid which is incompressible. What are the two properties? One is it is incompressible. Incompressible means there will be no change in its volume on applying even a great pressure. There will be no change in its volume on applying even a very great pressure. Means change in volume will not take place. And when there will be no change in volume, what will you say about its bulk modulus? Yes, Sagun Agarwal. What will be the bulk modulus of ideal liquid? When there is no change in volume of the liquid, then what will be the bulk modulus? Bulk modulus is what? What is the formula of bulk modulus? It is delta P divided by delta V upon V. And delta V upon V will become 0 here. There is no volume space. Even applying the very great pressure, हम चाहे कितना भी प्रेशर क्यों ना अप्लाई करते, there will be no change in the volume of the ideal liquid. Its volume will remain unchanged. इसलिए therefore bulk modulus will become, it will become equal to how much? 0. Infinite. It will become infinite. Which means its value will become infinite. Which so bulk modulus is infinite. And then what will be the density of this liquid? Density. So density will remain uniform. Since there is no change in volume, if suppose there is some change in volume, पहले क्या था, लिक्विड का वॉल्यूम इतना था, अब सपोज क्या प्रेशर लगाने पर वॉल्यूम इतना हो गया है, व्हाट विल बी द चेंज इन द मास? Mass will remain same, but the volume had decreased. Therefore, what will happen? Density will increase. Density equals to mass upon volume. So since there is no change in volume, so density will remain unchanged. No change. So this is the first property of ideal liquid. It is incompressible. You keep on writing also. It's clear. Then it is non-viscous liquid. Non-viscous means here there is no frictional force in between the different layers of the liquid. There will be no frictional force in between the different layers of liquid. Though that friction is actually different from the, what is the actual friction. Here we call it as the frictional force. There will be no frictional force in between the two adjacent layers of the liquid. Suppose these are the two adjacent layers, one upon another. What will happen? There will be no frictional force. There will be no viscous force. That is, no viscous force. Here we don't write it as frictional force, we write it as viscous force. No viscous force in between different layers. Of liquid. So these are the two main properties of ideal liquid, that it is zero compressible and zero viscous. Zero compressible and zero viscous. There is no viscosity and there is no compressibility. Now see here, so here we will discuss about the flowing liquid, about the flowing liquid. Now there are two types of flow. One is streamline flow and other is the turbulent flow. Streamline flow and turbulent flow. Now see here, what is the streamline flow? So you can write, the flow of liquid is said to be streamline. The flow of liquid is said to be streamline if all the particles passing through a given point of streamline, if all the particles passing through a given point of streamline, flow of liquid is said to be streamline if all the particles passing through a given point of the streamline have the same velocity, as the velocity of particles which have passed through that point earlier. Velocity of particles which have passed through that point earlier. Now, what is the streamline? It is the path in which a particle moves. Now see here, suppose this is the path of the particle through which they move. At this point, particles are passing through this path. This is a streamline. Now, what will be the velocity of the particle at any point? That can you find by trying the tangent. Velocity is having the speed as well as direction. What will be the velocity of flow at this point of the streamline? What is a streamline? It is the path through which the particle is moving. That is called the streamline. This path is called the streamline. Now, what will be the velocity at any point? That can be found by trying the tangent at any point. Here, tangent when you will draw, its direction will be this. Here, when you draw tangent, its direction will be this. Here, speed as well as direction both may differ. Direction is different, that you can see. Speed may also differ. It's clear. This is the velocity. Now, if all the particles passing through the point 1, all the particles passing through the point 1 have the same velocity v1, then flow is said to be streamline. मतलब particle 1 से जितने भी point 1 से जितने भी particles pass हो, point 1 से जितने भी particles pass हो, if all are having the velocity v1, then the flow will be streamline. If all the particles passing through the point 2 is having the velocity v2, then flow will be streamline. It's clear what is the condition for the streamline flow? All the particles passing through a specific point are having the same velocity. A particle may have different velocities at the different point. जैसे कोई particle number 1 है, जब वो यहां से पास हुआ, here you can name AB. there is a particle number 1 when it passes through the point A having velocity v1. When it reaches at the B having velocity v2. When it reaches at C having velocity v3. It may have different velocities at the different points of streamline, but all the particles which are passing through a given point, they will have the same velocity. So that you write down. In the streamline flow, what is a streamline? A streamline is that path through which the particles are moving. It is that path through which the particles are moving. That is called the streamline. So you write down. In the streamline flow, a particle may have different values of velocity at the different points of the streamline. At the different points of the streamline. Now, one is turbulent flow. Flow which is not streamline is called the turbulent flow. The flow of liquid which is not streamline is called turbulent flow. The flow of liquid which is not streamline is called the turbulent flow. Means different particles passing through the point A will have the different velocity. Different particles passing through a given point will have the different velocity. Okay? That flow will be turbulent flow. You write down further. The flow of liquid becomes turbulent. The flow of liquid becomes turbulent when velocity of flow exceeds to a critical value of velocity. Critical value of velocity, which depends upon the nature of liquid. Which depends upon the nature of the liquid as well as the tube through which the diameter of the tube through which the liquid is flowing. As well as diameter of the tube through which the liquid is flowing. In the turbulent flow, flow of liquid becomes rotational. Flow of liquid becomes rotational. That is, molecules acquire the angular motion also. Molecules acquire the angular motion also. Now see here, rotational means here what will happen? Here there is only linear motion. Here motion is only linear. There is no rotational motion. ऐसे नहीं है कि मॉलिक्यूल जैसे आया और यहाँ पर वो जैसे आया तो जैसे वो नाचने लगा इस तरीके से. It is not like that. There is no rotational motion. There is only linear motion in the streamline flow. But in the turbulent flow, along with the linear flow, there will be the angular motion of the molecules also. There will be the angular motion of molecules also. Now you write down further. So here streamline flow, you can say that it is the irrotational flow. Irrotational. this flow will be in rotational. We can say that this is a laminar flow. Laminar flow means flowing along a plane. Flowing along a plane. Which means here it is a rotational flow. Rotational flow or non-laminar flow. Now write down. In the turbulent flow, different streamlines. In the turbulent flow, different streamlines intersect. Different streamlines intersect. Means here this is one streamline and this is the another streamline. They are intersecting to each other. At this point, what will happen? You can draw the tangent here, here. At this point, you can draw the tangent here. There will be two values of velocity. Means the velocity at any particular point is not fixed. Velocity at any particular point is not fixed. It may have different values at the different timings. So in the turbulent flow, streamlines are intersecting. While in the streamline flow, what will happen? In the laminar flow, what will happen? Different streamlines will run parallel to one another. You write down. In the laminar flow, different streamlines run parallel to one another. Different streamlines run parallel to one another. Now after this, there is one principle of continuity. There are two principles. One is the Bernoulli's theorem and other is the principle of continuity. You write down. When an ideal liquid flows through a tube of non-uniform cross-section. Ideal flows through a tube of non-uniform cross-section. Then velocity non-uniform cross-section in streamline flow. Non-uniform cross-section in streamline flow. Then velocity of flowing liquid at any cross section is inversely proportional to area of cross section. When an ideal liquid flows through a tube of non-uniform cross-section in a streamlined flow, then velocity of flow of liquid at any cross-section is inversely proportional to area of cross-section. Means V is inversely proportional to E. More the area of cross-section, this is a very common experience. If you press the rubber tube, what will happen? Velocity of flow exceeds. Velocity of flow exceeds. वो जो रबर ट्यूब जिससे पानी डालते हैं, अगर उसको प्रेस कर दे, फ्लो क्या हो जाता है, उसका स्पीड क्या हो जाता है, कम हो जाता है। क्या हो जाता है सगुन? हैव यू सीन द रबर ट्यूब? फ्लो बढ़ता है कि घट जाता है? सब लोग ऐसे करके बढ़ता है, तो हमने भी मान लिया। Velocity is inversely proportional to area. Greater the area of cross section, lesser will be the velocity. And why it is so? So you can see here. Here this is a tube of non-uniform cross section. Tube of non-uniform cross section. Now see here. Suppose this is a tube, here cross section A, and can take X, and this is the cross section Y. Suppose a mass of 10 kg liquid or 10 liter liquid, you can say 10 kg, 10 liter, anything you can take. 10 liter liquid enters from here in a given time t. In a given time t, मतलब ये हम टाइम भी ले लेते हैं 5 मिनट्स। 5 मिनट्स में 10 kg का लिक्विड इसके अंदर इंटर कर जाता है। तो यहां पर 5 मिनट्स में कितना लिक्विड निकलेगा उसी 5 मिनट में? 10 kg liquid enters here from this cross section. So how much liquid will come out from this? 20 kg or 30 kg? Or 5 kg? Yes, Sanika. 10 kg जितना इंटर करेगा उतना ही निकलेगा। जितना मास या जितना वॉल्यूम का लिक्विड इंटर करेगा, जितने मास या जितने वॉल्यूम का, ऐसा तो है नहीं कि यहां से यहां जाने में डेंसिटी चेंज हो जाएगी, आया समझे? तो वॉल्यूम चेंज हो जाए, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा। सो व्हाट विल हैपन, जितने मास या जितने वॉल्यूम का लिक्विड इंटर करेगा उतने ही मास या उतने ही वॉल्यूम का लिक्विड क्या होगा, एग्जिट कर जाएगा। नाउ सी हियर, here you can assume that this area of cross section X is having area of cross section A1. Its area of cross section is A1 and velocity of flow is V1. And here we have assumed cross section A2 and velocity as V2. So in unit time, how much length of liquid column will enter here? Suppose velocity is 2 meter per second. It means in 1 second, दो 1 सेकेंड में क्या होगा, 2 मीटर लेंथ का लिक्विड कॉलम इससे क्या हो जाएगा, क्रॉस कर जाएगा। कितनी लेंथ का लिक्विड कॉलम क्रॉस करेगा, 2 मीटर लेंथ का। सो व्हाट विल बी द वॉल्यूम ऑफ दैट लिक्विड? वॉल्यूम विल बी इक्वल टू एरिया ऑफ क्रॉस सेक्शन मल्टीप्लाइड बाय लेंथ व्हिच हैज पास्ड थ्रू इट। सो राइट डाउन, you make the diagram, first make the diagram. Volume of liquid entering through the cross section X in 1 second. Here V1 is what? Velocity of flow. What is V1? It is the velocity of flow. Volume of liquid entering through the cross section X in 1 second. It will be equal to A1 into V1. And why it is so? Because V1 is the velocity here, means in unit time, in 1 second, V1 length liquid column passes through it. In 1 second, V1 length liquid column passes through it. So what will be the volume of that liquid column? That will be equal to A1 into V1. Because the volume here, this flow is in cylindrical shape. And it is in cylindrical shape, therefore what will be volume? A1 into V1. Similarly, flow of volume of liquid, you write down. Similarly, volume of liquid coming out from the cross section Y, coming out from the cross section Y in 1 second, it will be equal to how much? Who can tell? What will be the volume of liquid coming out from the cross section Y in 1 second? So see here, V2 length of liquid column is discharged through it in 1 second. V2 length का liquid column इससे discharge हो रहा है in 1 second. So what is the volume? A2 into V2. So A2 into V2. You write down. Since if you want to convert it in mass, then what will you do? Volume multiplied by density. Volume multiplied by density. So you write down, since volume of liquid entering or leaving out, volume of liquid entering or leaving out through any cross section, volume of liquid entering or leaving out through any cross section in a given time always remains same. In a given time always remains same, and it will remain same whether the flow is streamline or it is not streamline. It's clear? It will always remain same whether the liquid is ideal or not ideal. In every case it will remain same. So A1 V1 will be equal to what? A2 V2. A1 V1 equals to A2 or A into B equals to constant. So you can write down, therefore, smaller the area of cross section, greater will be the flow of liquid. Greater will be the flow of liquid. Now see here one more thing. As we know that in a streamline flow, there is here in ideal flow there is no viscous force, there is no compressibility, there is no viscous force, means there is no frictional force. Means all the forces which are acting, that are the conservative forces. All the forces which are acting are the conservative forces. Now here you can see, suppose if you take this body of mass m from here to here, this body of mass m is moved from here to here. It is moving statically, means it is not acquiring any velocity. It is not acquiring here any velocity. It is just moved from here to here by height h. How much will be the work done? कितना वर्क होगा? mgh. Now see here. Here a liquid is flowing. Here we have assumed the height of this cross section as h1 and height of this cross section as h2. Suppose in a given time m mass of liquid enters through this cross section. So in the same time, how much mass of liquid will come out? M mass of liquid will come out. M mass is entering here, and in that time M mass will come out from here. What will be the work done here? What will be the work done in flowing of the liquid from here to here? What is potential energy here? mg h1. What will be the potential energy there? mg व्हाट विल द वर्क डन, यहां पर हमने क्या किया था, पोटेंशियल एनर्जी इस लेवल पर क्या लिया था, 0. इट इज द रेफरेंस लेवल फॉर मेजरिंग द पोटेंशियल एनर्जी. 0 level of potential energy we have taken this. So what was the potential energy here? It was mgh and work done was equal to mgh. Now what will be the work done? You can say that the work done is, it is mgh2 minus mgh1, but work done will not be equal to this. Here work done will not be equal to this, though here in both cases conservative forces are acting. Conservative forces are acting in both the cases. Here work done is mgh, but in that case it is not equal to, here you can take this value. What is the net height increase? Net height increase is h, which is equal to h2 minus h1, but the work done will not be equal to mgh2 minus mgh1. And why it is so, who can tell? कौन बताएगा? कौन बता सकता है? Because it is the flowing liquid. Here it is having the flowing liquid, and in the flowing liquid what will happen? Here its velocity will also be changed. In moving from here to here, its velocity will also be changed. As you have seen here, when it is moved from here to here, it is moved statically. Statically means यहाँ भी रेस्ट पर था और वहां पहुंचने पर भी क्या है, रेस्ट पर ही है. It's clear? It is moving statically. It is not acquiring any velocity. So here, what will happen? Work done equals to mgh, but here it is acquiring some velocity also. Velocity is also changing. It's clear? So in the flowing liquid, we cannot apply this rule. That work done equals to negative of potential energy. Work done because of the conservative forces is equal to negative of potential energy. For your sake, you can write only W equals to delta U. It's clear? But actually it is written this way. W equals to negative of potential energy. Work done because of the conservative forces. So you write down flowing liquids, energy possessed by the flowing liquid. Energy possessed by the flowing liquid. Flowing liquids have three types of energy. Have three types of energy. One is the pressure energy. Other is the potential energy, and third is the kinetic energy. Pressure energy,